It's Phil Wade from Dalton Wade Real Estate Group, and today I'm joined with Rob.
Hi.
Bill.
Good morning.
Kinga.
Hello.
And Talia is holding the phone, and today we're going to talk about the very, very exciting subject of the effective date. But maybe a little bit dry, but nevertheless, it's important to make sure we kind of understand. I think everybody has a fairly good idea of what the effective date is. The effective date for the contract is the date that it's executed. That usually the seller has signed it, or if it's come back, to the buyers maybe for some initials. Those have been initialed. So it's that date that all happens is basically day zero. And what I would do, just so that there's never any confusion, here comes Jan.
Hi, Jan.
Hey, Jan.
Hi.
So we're just starting, Jan, so you haven't really missed any of the excitement yet. So the first, the day it's all signed is day zero. You may shoot if you're the buyer's agent, whatever side you're on, send the other party maybe an email. The effective date is June 10th, so that everybody's on the same page and everybody kind of knows what that effective date is. And then, the calendar starts from there. So then the next day is day one. If you're doing, a 10-day inspection, you count to the 10th day. That's the last day. Weekends count, holidays count. Those are all, kind of in there. One thing that's come up a couple times, and I think, so the contract got executed, but then, the FHA VA addendum didn't come back. That came back 2 days later, or the seller's disclosure came back 2 days later. And someone might say, oh, well, the effective date is that day. No, that's not how it works. So how it works is once the contract is substantially complete. So, substantially complete means the actual contract. So if there's an addendum or a disclosure, that gets signed later, then that's awesome, and we need to get those signed, but then that isn't the effective date. So it's not the date that all the paperwork is complete, it's the date that the deal is substantially complete, and substantially complete is the contract. So just, I know Jan, this is probably several months back, had this question, and we ended up calling the legal hotline, and that's kind of what they told us. So substantially complete, so once the contract is executed, that's day zero, and then all the dates kind of go from there. And then again, as we've talked, the key dates usually are the inspection contingency date, and then the financing contingency date. So this topic isn't extremely expansive, so this is going to be a relatively short training. There's really not too much else to talk about, and just to kind of summarize, make sure you know when the effective date is. Confirm that with the other side so that everybody's on, in agreement as to when that is, and that, if you're missing some addendums, those got signed later, or some disclosures got signed later, that's not the effective date. And just one other point, whenever there's a question, always kind of go with the conservative answer, right? Because you're just better with that, because there's less chance of something not good happening. So, any questions in the room? Talia, Jan, Rob, Bill, Kinga, anybody in Periscope land? Alrighty, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll be back next week with another exciting topic. Thank you.